Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and today is going to be my reading vlog for the Merry and Bright Readathon, which is hosted by Spencer, Zoe, and Chandler, and of course all their channels are going to be linked down below. You should absolutely subscribe to them. So basically, last week I participated in the historical romance readathon, and it kind of like the end of it was at the time that this readathon started, so I'm starting late. I technically read some books that would work for this, but I want to talk about and read new books in the next 3 days. So it is Monday and this readathon is going until Wednesday, and I might be away tomorrow, but today I'm home, and on Wednesday I should be home. And I just want to make this like a fun, cozy, relaxing reading vlog. I am ready to mood read super hard because lately I've been doing so many specific videos where I had to read specific like books and genres, and I am ready to read the most random combination of books ever. And so I do have some books that I started or that like I really want to read that I'm really sure about, but I'm not gonna give like an in-depth TBR, and it might change. Yeah, if I sound a little bit weird or something, I am feeling a little bit sick. My throat is super dry and I'm not feeling the best. It's nothing serious, don't worry, but I am ready to like get in bed and read and watch things all day. So I might not do as much talking today because I don't want to make my throat even worse. But I have some allergies and things like that. That has been not fun. So anyways, let's start with this book. So there are some prompts. There are 6 prompts, and one of them is to read a book with white on the cover. So this is the British edition, I think, of Vesper. It is the new book by Margaret Rogerson, and I really enjoyed Enchantment of Ravens, which was Margaret's first book, and absolutely loved Sorcery of Thorns, which I have like on one of my main shelves. So this is a book that is one of my most anticipated releases. I was beyond thrilled when I found it at the bookstore, and I'm just so ready. And you might know that I kind of struggle with fantasy nowadays, but I have also started to really figure out what my taste in fantasy is. Because, like, if it is done in a way that works for me, I love it, and I think this book is just going to be so good. It is in a series, so this is the first book that is in a series by Margaret Rogerson. I'm not gonna lie, I do think I prefer standalones, because I just prefer, like, less heavy fantasy books, and I feel like series just, adds to, like, the complexity, and like just it feels more overwhelming, but I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot, and so I'm super excited to dive into this. Yesterday, I actually have one book that I want to mention that I read yesterday, and that is, I think it's called Dipped in Holly by Dana Isley. I'm not sure how to pronounce the author's last name, so I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but this is a novella that is just like a super steamy, quick, short story almost. Like it's like 60 pages, and I really enjoyed this. And like one of the main things that I thought was super cool, every single chapter has a song assigned to it, literally right under the chapter name. And I thought that was super cool. And I actually was like, you know what? I'm gonna like put it on actual, like, I'm gonna put the music on Spotify, and I put it in the queue, and I listened to it as I read the book, and that made it even more fun. And it was just like such a quick read, and I just loved the combination of the story and the music. The music was really good, and it really worked with the story, and it was just so much fun. And like if you want a super steamy short little book that like definitely is insta lovey, like that kind of thing, but it's just like super light and low conflict, low plot type of thing, I would recommend it. It's not really Christmassy. It's more like there's like a Christmas little twist to it, but like yeah, so really enjoyed that. And then there's another book that I started like 2 weeks ago that I forgot the title of successfully, but it's a Christmas romance, and it's contemporary, and it is by Therese Biari, and I am so excited for this one because I started it before I had to work on some videos, and I have been dying to get back to it because it's actually like really sweet and cute and romantic. I just have such a good feeling about books by Therese in general. I just really think I'm gonna love them, and this is my first one, and I just need to finish it. And so I'm super excited to dive into this today. Definitely gonna talk about this one later. And the last book that I'm gonna mention for now is one that is actually an arc, and please let me know in the comments down below if you would like me to talk about arcs before they're out. So in case you didn't know, it's like an advanced readers slash reviewers copy that people get, like early copies of books that you get to like review them and share them with people before they're out, and then like once they're out and all of that. And so I got this poetry book. It is on Read Now on NetGalley actually, so you can check that. If it's something that you are interested in, then you might have it on Read Now. And so I feel like poetry in general is quite often on Read Now. I love poetry, and it's really easy to read, which means that I can get my NetGalley score up easily. And so it's just perfect on all counts. And so this is called Serenity. I forgot the author's name, but it just sounded amazing. I just think it's gonna be great. And it also has illustrations, which I always adore, and so super excited to read this. I think I'm just gonna give you my thoughts after finishing it, you know, because like it's a poetry book and I feel like it's always hard to review and talk about. And yes, I also just want to relax and watch some things. I'm actually like, as I was doing my makeup, I was watching Chandler's new video. She has been posting every single day this month, and it is the best thing ever. I absolutely love how much people post in December, and I watch BookTube so much that like it is a dream come true. So yeah, my throat is dying, and so I'm gonna go drink some tea, and I'm gonna share some movies and shows with you as well. I have been watching Ted Lasso slowly, and like the only reason why I'm watching it slowly is because like I never wanted to end. And so I'm trying to savor it and watch it slowly. So I'm gonna watch some of that, and then maybe some like Christmas movies and things like that. And yeah, so I'm gonna shut up and let's get into the reading vlog, and I'm gonna talk to you soon.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around.
So it is finally time for an update, and I need to talk about quite a few things, so let's get into it. It is now Wednesday. It's 6 p.m. It's not too late, but the readathon is ending today, and so I am kind of freaking out because I only have one update for this vlog, but I hope it's okay that this one is just going to be a little bit shorter. I have done some reading that I'm going to talk about in a second, and then I do think I'm going to read some more tonight for sure and update you later again. So I'm also rocking my Christmas pajamas and my hair looks like shit, which is why I'm wearing this headband, which I normally don't wear or film in. Where do I start? So a miracle happened, and I picked up Vesper by Margaret Rogerson. And why it's a miracle is, like, if you don't watch my videos all that much, I really suck at reading physical books nowadays, and I recently have been thinking about it even more, and I really need to like change the way that I think about physical reading, because I absolutely love it. I just need to be more selective about what I read physically, but at the same time I just feel like I put a lot of pressure on reading physically, and then I don't read it because of that. And I also have this weird thing that I'm like, if I read a physical book, it feels like this rare, precious thing that, you know, is like once in a lifetime, and that like I have a feeling that I have to share it in a vlog every single time. And then like obviously that limits me also, because I'm like, I don't really feel like vlogging right now, or I'm not really ready to vlog, or I'm not really doing any vlog right now, and you know, it just puts a lot of pressure on it. And I feel like putting pressure on reading or anything is the quickest way for it not to be fun. And so that is something that I really want to try to be better at. Anyways, let's finally talk about this actual book, Vesper by Margaret Rogerson. So I read 128 pages, so a decent chunk. So this is almost 400 pages, but I read that beginning really quickly and I'm really intrigued and really excited and I'm really happy. So let's talk about what the book is about. So Margaret described it on Goodreads as medieval venom about a nun and a ghost. It's about our main character, who's Artemisia, and is that the way to pronounce it? She's training to be a Grey Sister. She is a nun and like living with all of these nuns and all of that, and they're like a magical kind of nun, obviously. And so they basically have to deal with like demons and spirits and things like that. And at the beginning of the book, the main character's convent is like possessed by some dangerous spirits. She has to do something about it. And so she kind of lets herself be possessed by this revenant, this like super powerful ghost demon. This ghost shares her body but doesn't actually take over. And so that is where the venom comparison comes in, which is that like it's a voice in her head, but they're kind of like cooperating, working together and not against each other. But at the same time, there is that potential that like this ghost is obviously super dangerous and super powerful and wants to have full control. And so there's this like underlining tension. Super fun. And I actually read a book not like this, but like with this venom element, which was Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. I actually have the third book in that series right there where I'm pointing behind me. That's like the only one that I have physically in that series, but I absolutely adore it. I still haven't read that one yet because I'm like saving it for a special occasion because I just know I'm gonna adore it. That book, Wolf Gone Wild, had this element that like it's a paranormal romance and the hero is a werewolf who has this voice in his head and he wants to like it's like the voice of his wolf in this case, and he wants to like, you know, get rid of it and all of that, and absolutely loved it. And there's just something so fun about it. And in this book, I'm also loving it. It's just like so intriguing that we have this like other character who is like sharing a body with this main character and like doesn't have a body, but it's still like a person, and like the communication is obviously different and all of that is just like the dynamic is so interesting. I'm super excited to keep reading this. Definitely very different from Margaret's other books. So it is a series. Unlike her standalones, it is also, it apparently doesn't have a romance. I am really confused because I could swear I saw in a description that, like, there was a romance, but I think that I just, like, completely misunderstood it and just read it too quickly, and then I, like, didn't actually correctly absorb the information. Because, you know, I suck at synopses, if you know me. Like, I don't read them even most of the time, but for this one, for some reason, I did. Romance is my favorite genre at this point. Like, there's no denying that. But I have mentioned before, I just, like, honestly, I'm a sucker for any kind of relationship. Like, if there's a strong main character or main characters and relationships of any kind, then, like, I'm gonna love it. It's a matter of whether it's a really strong and good relationship or not. And so in this, it's a really interesting, cool dynamic. And the last thing I'm going to mention about this book for now is something I don't know if I can show you, but I was just like chilling on the couch in the living room and the light was coming in. You might be thinking, why the fuck are you doing this? But I tilted the book like this. And the way the light hit it, it's like the drops that you can see turned red along with the bottom of this title. And it's like, it shifts the color so that it looks like blood. And it looks super cool. I don't think you can see it when I do it like this. So I'm going to try to like tomorrow film it so I can show it to you because it is super cool. I've never seen anything like it. I was shook when I saw that. And so yes, I think that if you loved Margaret's other books, yes, this one is different, and I do know that some people love like Enchantment of Ravens and hate the Sorcery of Thorns and vice versa, but like I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm also loving this. So like the writing style is still similar, some of the vibes are still similar, and so I'm just really enjoying this, and I'm really happy. I'm gonna shut up about this book now and talk about the next book. And so I actually did finish the Wedding One Christmas by Therese Biari, and it was super cute. It was just such a sweet romance with a lot of like emotional components to the story of like what the main characters were dealing with. Actually, I was going to describe the plot really quickly. I just realized, because I haven't like said anything about this book really in this video. I talked about it in another one, but just quickly to, you know, like tell you what this book is. It is obviously like a Christmas romance, and the two main characters meet at this random wedding that like the heroine is passing by, and she kind of gets swept into this wedding because she's wearing a dress similar to the bridesmaids. What ends up happening is that she sits at the table of Ezra, I think is the name, because like this guy it just keeps on talking to her, and so she asks him like, can I sit next to you and like pretend that you're my boyfriend, basically. And then they just like fall in love, and it's definitely like I'm not sure if I would fully recommend it for people who really hate insta love. It does happen really quickly, but I felt like it was really well done, and like at the end of the book I like the relationship had so many components to it and was so strong that I felt like it must have been a long time, you know, that the book took place. I don't know how to talk anymore, but you get it. So I still felt like it was really strong and really cute and romantic with some steam as well. And I'm so excited to read more books by Therese, because like this is something that I absolutely love, like romances that have really strong emotional things in it, not only when it comes to the romance, but also the main characters' like personal journeys. I just love it so much. And it's also a book that is set in South Africa. Yes, and I think two more books that I need to talk about, unless I forgot something, is I read a little bit more of the poetry book. I'm not going to talk about it too much because again, like I think I'd rather talk about like the overall whole thing after finishing it. I do think I'm gonna finish that tonight. I like it, don't fully love it, but it's definitely like easy to read, and there have been lines that resonate with me, which honestly is like all that I require from poetry to enjoy it. Not like all that I need to love it, you know, obviously, but it's fun. And then the last book that I started is an audiobook of The Beast by Katie Robert, and I'm so excited. So I only read like maybe 10% of this, and I'm already like really excited and into it, and I think it's gonna be so much fun. And so I read the second and fifth book in this series, and it is standalones, and it's basically about like what would happen if the Disney villains ended up being like the love interests of the heroes, if that makes sense. Basically, the way it's written is not fantasy. That's like the only one of the main things that I don't love about it is just kind of like contemporary, but like a different vibe. It like makes the stories somehow work in our world, but it's not like fantasy stuff. I just kind of read it based on the reviews and the characters. So the first book, for example, was Jasmine and Jafar, and while I heard a lot of good things about the book, I just don't know if I can like, I really hate Jafar, and I don't know if I can do that. And so the second one is Polyamorous, which I just love reading polyamorous books. Really enjoyed that one. And then Queen Takes Rose. The fifth one is Sapphic. And so, really enjoyed both of these. I think I gave both of them 4 stars. And so this one is Belle, the Beast, and Gaston. And what happens in this book actually is that like the 3 main characters dated before. I don't know if it was just that like she had 2 separate relationships with them, I think, before, and then they broke up, and now they have this deal that for like a month they're just gonna spend time together and all things like that, and then she's gonna have to decide between the 2 of them and like actually which one she wants, because before she couldn't decide, and that's because she loves both of them equally, and it's gonna be polyamorous, and I am just really excited. And it was recently brought to my attention again because Mina from Mina Reads loved it, and like honestly, Mina's recommendations for romance are always spot on, and so I'm just so excited. That is hopefully all that I need to update you on. This update was ridiculously long, and I think the last thing I'm gonna do that I just remembered is, I don't know if I mentioned it in this vlog already, but I have a Yankee Candle calendar, and I haven't opened today yet. I don't know what date it is. Let's see what it is. This is the scent Snow in Love. Super cute. I don't think that's gonna focus, but it actually somehow smells like snow if it actually had a smell. But there's like something sweet in it as well, and I love it. Like, I am so happy. There has literally not been a single one in the past, which day was it? 15, 16. There hasn't been a single smell that I didn't like. And so I'm in love. I also watched one episode of Ted Lasso today, and I just love it so much. It was the last episode of season 1. Was intense, but I just absolutely love the hope and love and joy in this show. Like, the way it deals with like painful, difficult things is just the perfect way that I want to see it in media, and it's just the best thing ever. Like, if you've heard a lot of people talk about it and you're not sure if it's worth the hype, absolutely is 1000% worth the hype and absolutely incredible. Let me know in the comments down below what show you have been loving. I really need to make TV shows a part of my life again, because I used to be like in love with TV shows, and then like a lot of my favorites got canceled or didn't like weren't as good anymore, and I just need new things to watch. I especially love like the contemporary shows like Ted Lasso. I also absolutely love the bold type, and a few months ago I started watching the show Generation, and it's super chaotic but really fun, and there's like a lot of queer characters in that, and definitely recommend that. And things like this, just absolutely love contemporary, like adult, even like the teenage ones. I love both, like anything. Sitcoms is another thing. I recently started rewatching Baby Daddy, and like, it is everything. I mean, it started in like 2014. There are definitely some like shitty jokes in it and things like that, but I feel like the tone of the show is just so lighthearted. There's like a best friends to lovers romance, and like one of the main characters, I love him so much. And just like all the main characters are absolutely amazing, but Danny, if you know, you know. So I absolutely love things like this, but I'm super excited for the new Witcher season, and a lot of people have been talking about Arcade, is that the name? And I think I'm gonna check that out as well. Then Wheel of Time recently came out. Let me know if you've seen that. Now that I think about it, I have a lot of options, and I really need to get to like these shows, that I need to start them or continue watching them. So I'm gonna shut up. I think gonna watch some YouTube, maybe some of these shows that I am talking about, and then I'm hopefully gonna do some reading as well. So I'm gonna talk to you later tonight.
Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
It is now 11 p.m. and it's time for some updates. So I read a little bit of Vesper and still really enjoying it. I just feel like today I just wasn't fully in the mood for it. It's not like a one-sitting book for me, but I keep on still looking forward to it, and I love it a lot. So we love to see it. And the only thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that I've actually never seen Venom, and as I read this, when I read Wolf Gone Wild, and like when I've seen little things about the movies, like on TikTok or people talking about it online, it actually looks so good. It's just that I am so creeped out by the way that Venom looks. Like, I know some people are into it. I'm really not. Like, it creeps me the fuck out. I haven't been able to, like, get past it, because you know, like, it's like I just can't. And in the new movie, in the second one, the villain, oh my god, so disgusting. Like, I literally can't bear it. And ugh. Like, just thinking about some of the scenes from the trailer, I'm disgusted. That is not to, like, you know, shame anyone who like likes it or whatever. I think that, like, I was kind of like forced to watch the trailer when I went to the movies, like, to see Eternals, and I definitely, like, had to watch it twice. And like, it looks really funny and cool and whatever, but you know, like, I need to get over that. And I think that, like, as I've like processed it, I could get over it. Let me know if you've seen it, if you like it, all of that. But yes, so not much read of this today, but still super excited about it. Still think that you should check it out. But there's actually a book that I read yesterday that is 1 Week to Claim It All by Adriana Herrera. So this is from the Harlequin Desire imprint. I've actually had quite a lot of luck with the Harlequin Desire imprint, and I really enjoy the books. I feel like most of them are just like super quick and fun, like addicting reads that are easy to get into, and just like I've really enjoyed a lot of them. And this one wasn't like my least favorite, but it also wasn't my most favorite, and I just kind of ended up feeling okay about it. Like, you know, it was super quick. I listened to it on audio. I feel like before, none of the books from the imprint were on Scribd on audio, but I think maybe they recently added them. It was like a 5-hour long audiobook, and all the books are pretty much like 210, 20 pages. This one is basically a second chance romance, and I love second chance romances. It's also like an office romance, and it has that like rich people vibe. And the two main characters are basically like fighting over the position of CEO in this company. It was definitely quick, it was fun, and like I didn't feel super like bored reading it or anything. It was definitely easy to get through, but I just didn't fall, you know, I just didn't fall in love with the characters. I didn't particularly feel like a super strong connection between them or chemistry. So if you love those tropes and those vibes, you could still enjoy it, and like I definitely recommend you check out some books in this imprint in general. And Adriana Herrera actually has a sequel that recently came out, which is called Just for the Holidays, and so this one is a Christmassy one. And oh, it also has the snowed in trope, so I think I'm gonna read that one anyways for sure. I actually already have this as an ebook. I think the last bookish update I have is that I finished Serenity, and I also actually had kind of mediocre feelings about it. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, but I don't know if it's not just like a 3-star, but I do think it could be higher if I was more in a mood for it. I just feel like I haven't been in the biggest poetry mood, and like I generally love poetry, but I don't know, like lately just, you know, not the right time, I guess. It just like a lot of the poems just didn't really resonate with me, and it is once again like written in that like free verse modern poetry style, which isn't my favorite, but there were some poems that really resonated with me, and the book does have illustrations, so those I feel like I would have loved to see more, because I feel like there was like 6 of them in the whole thing, and I don't know if that's like normal, but I feel like in the illustrated poetry books that I've read before, there was a lot more, and I just love to see that. Like, obviously it's, you know, like focused on the poetry and like it makes sense, but I just love illustrations. And yeah, so that's that. And the last thing actually is I made some progress with The Beast, and I do think I might read a little bit more tonight. Really like it a lot. Like, the character dynamics are amazing. The tension is so good. And it definitely has like a kind of lovers to enemies to lovers vibe. Like, they are definitely like filled with some bitterness and regrets and frustration that they need to like get out of their system and like figure all of it out. And it's so fun. And like I always love second chance romances, but when it's a situation like this, I feel like it's done so well in here, and it's even more interesting because it's 3 characters who all have a different dynamic with each other, and they need to figure all of that out. And that is why, like, I love polyamorous stories so much, because you have, like, even more to, like, fall in love with. Like, obviously it needs to be done well, but I think that it is definitely done super well in here. If you don't like reading smut, then this book, or Katie Robert in general, is definitely not for you. But yes, and the last thing that I want to talk about before I sign off for the day is I started a show called School of Chocolate, which is on Netflix, and I saw someone on TikTok talk about it, and it's basically like a reality show, like the competition kind of show that's all about chocolate, shockingly, and like chocolate like sculptures and like all of that, everything around it. The thing that is like intriguing about it is that it's basically that like no one gets eliminated, but they kind of get like points for getting better and improving, and it's actually like a school, and it's basically the point is to like for all of the people, I almost said main characters, for all of the people to just like learn and improve. And I'm really enjoying it. I definitely, like, if you want to watch it, make sure to have some chocolate preferably, or a snack. It's cool. I definitely recommend it. And I think that is the last thing that I'm going to talk about today. It is time for a wrap up to this vlog and a quick update, all of that. So it's actually Friday night now. I don't even know what I was doing yesterday, but obviously the readathon is over. I haven't finished anything just yet, after, like, you know, I talked to you, but I did make some progress in Vesper, and I'm now on page 237, so I don't have that much left, like 150 pages, and I definitely think I'm gonna finish it this weekend. And yeah, I don't really have any new thoughts on this, but still really like it a lot, and it's super fun. So I do think it's gonna be like a 4-star from me, maybe 4.5. Like, it's not fully a 5-star. I do think it's a little bit slow and a little bit too long, which I feel like is something that I say with a lot of books, because clearly, you know, like, there's a pattern in my taste. But besides that, I just really like it a lot, and I definitely think that I would recommend it. I also feel like it's not like a wintry book really, but I do feel like it's a perfect book to pick up in the winter. And in general, for me, I feel like fantasy books just work so well in like colder months. There's also like a female friendship that was introduced around the middle of the book, which I have been enjoying a lot. So yes, that's it about this book for now. Definitely gonna update you in another video at some point when I finish this. And then I got to like 60% of the beast, and it's so fun. And like, I absolutely love the character dynamics in this, like the angst between them, and like the way that they all care about each other so much, but they have so many issues and they need to like open up to each other, and like all of that is done so well, and I am so here for it. So I feel like the thought of a really steamy romance that's like second chance, it's polyamorous, all of that, like I've already said it, but it is so good, and I definitely really recommend it. I think that this one, I don't think it's gonna be a 5-star, because there's like a side plot introduced with like some like danger that I think is gonna annoy me and like near the end and all of that. And just like in general, I don't think this is gonna be like a total 5-star, but I do think it could actually be my favorite Katie Robert book. So I have read like 4 or 5. And I really like Katie Robert. I don't think she's like my all-time favorite author, because like her books don't fully work for my reading taste, but they definitely work for me to like really enjoy them, just not like all-time favorites, you know. And I also wanted to talk about one more thing. I'm not gonna talk about it a lot, but I went to see Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm obviously not gonna say anything. I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, I went to see it today. I enjoyed it, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Let me know if you've seen it, if you enjoyed it, but obviously please don't spoil anything in the comments. There's also the new Witcher season that I'm so excited to watch. I'm not necessarily like into like that like high fantasy vibe, but I am into Henry Cavill and definitely gonna be watching that this weekend. I don't know if I'll watch all of it because like the episodes are really long, and I don't know if I mentioned it in here, but I really haven't been like binge watching any shows for the past few years, honestly, and like I kind of miss it. Like I need a show so good that's gonna make even me binge watch it because I'm really, really good at resisting like the binge watching. But I just want to like fully feel immersed in a show. That's gonna be it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. And again, all of the hosts are gonna be linked down below. If you made it this far in the video, leave a raven emoji down below. Or is there a raven emoji? Any bird emoji. You know, like this book made me think of it. I don't know. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye.